By the end of this class, what you are going to get and what you will take away will blow your mind. All right? You may see it as a simple topic. You may just be binge listening, but I will advise that you don't binge listen, but you binge serious. If there's a word like a phrase like that, you will see some things that may change your perception of business, bring your ideology back to what the reality actually says, and most importantly, see what is best for you as an individual, right? So this is the time for you to get serious with your timing, okay? So like I mentioned earlier, for those of you that have not shared it, remind your friends, remind your team, share it on your groups. The whole idea is these seminars or these webinars are coming in free of charge. These are the costs, right? But the cost has been subsidized by Fantel Business School for you to be here. This course, business analysis, goes from 300 to 500,000 normally, and you're getting it for free, a crash course in 1 hour. So in order to get the benefits of this crash course in 1 hour, be dedicated and be present, all right? So we have BA meaning, thank you, Fatima. I think Fatima is the only one in class. She answered. Fatima, business analysis, that's where you start from. So let's get everybody here. Let's be sure how many of us are here. So if you're in the class, type 1 in the chat room. If you're here, type 1 in the chat room. Just 1. I'm sure that's not hard to do. 1, just type 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Let me count how many ones are here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7 ones. Incredible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once I get 10, then we'll start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, you have 10. Fantastic. Ayubana gives us the meaning of business analysis. It says identifying business needs and finding business solutions to business problems. Fantastic. Somebody once says that once they ask you a particular question in business and they say, I'll look into it, the person that says I look into it is the business analyst, is the business analyst. So why do you need it in the first place? What relevance does it take? What relevance does it have? How does it support you? How does it help you? As an individual, as a business owner, does it make any sense? Let's see how well we can make that work for each and every one of us tonight. All right. So now we are 27. I was hoping we'll get to 30 before I kick this off. And I'll ask you in the chat room, what do you expect to take away from tonight? What do you expect to take away from tonight? Tell me, what do you expect to take away tonight? Just type in the chat room.
You are muted, sir.
Okay, thank you. What's your expectation tonight? What's your expectation tonight? Let's see, what's your expectation tonight? So that we can tailor it and see how we can help you deliberately. All right? We have about 45 minutes to go. And we'll get this done. What's your expectation tonight? No expectation, so I can freestyle. Is that what you're telling me? No expectation tonight? Come on. What is your expectation for tonight? What is your expectation for tonight? What is your expectation for tonight? 1 or 2 people, what's your expectation for tonight? Let's have it. What is your expectation for tonight? Okay, learn how to analyze my business data to make informed business decision. Fantastic. Thank you, Fatima. Brilliant. Abdulaziz says, learn how to, okay, that's gone already. Okay, see, Fatima is here. Fatima has responded, right? So let's see how we can help Fatima right here. Okay. Abdulaziz says to learn how to analyze my business. Brilliant. That makes perfect sense. So let's see what we can do for you guys. Saidu says to learn how to interpret data from a business and know the most important KPI that goes with it. Oh, I like Saidu. He's going into it. He's already deep into it. Brilliant. That's nice. That makes perfect sense. All right. And then Issa says, learn how to use data to make a decision. Let's put it this way. You want to go for a job interview. What's the first thing you do? A lot of people just go and send their CVs. They forget that the data they're looking for is about you. So what data about yourself have you researched? Have you researched about yourself? Yes, research about yourself. What questions are they going to ask you? What are you bringing to the company? Thinking about that, right? What kind of questions are they going to ask you? Do you know your experience like the back of your hands? Have you researched the company? Do you know anything about the company? Have you researched the position? Do you know anything about the position? And now let's transport that to your business itself. You started a business, you wanted to make money. Why do you want to make money? What is the need you're trying to meet? How many people are you trying to serve? Who are your suppliers? Who are your vendors? Who are your competitors? Who are your partners? How many staff are you planning to employ? What is your revenue? How do you decide where to work from? What locations do you decide to expand into? What are the options available for you? What are the opportunities available for you, as well as what are the bottlenecks? What are the challenges you are going to face? These are the things you start checking, and that's where business analysis come into play. To know if you're actually doing the right business at the right place and supplying the right people. A lot of people just see others selling materials and just believe materials is a good business. They just go and buy materials. They keep forgetting. Have you taken into account the season, the weather, the culture, so you know the kind of materials to supply? Would you can supply Guinea brocade, right, in Sokoto, or will you can supply Gesnal, right, in Owerri? So these are the things that business analysis brings out for you and helps you to learn, helps you to grow, and gives you the best way to take decisions that count. All right. So let's delve into it and make some sense out of these numbers. I'll put up a slideshow. One thing is about slides. You put on the slides, that makes you look intelligent, like you know what you're doing. So let me look like I know what I'm doing today. Okay. So I'm going to share this slide with you, and you can see it. So once you can see, just type a one in the chat, type a two in the chat room. I think one must be tired of we hearing about one. One must be tired. So if you can see my slide, just type a two in the chat room. Type a two in the chat room, just two, 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 two. If you can see two, you can type a two in the chat room. I can go. Once I see 10 twos coming up, then we proceed. I can see 10 responses, then we proceed. Right? Oh, fantastic. I see we've gotten our 10. So this is how you know your business analytics. All right. And you drive informed business decision for growth. If you don't know about something, how can you be informed? How can you make the right decisions? And that's where our challenge starts from. We don't know much and we think we know much. And based on what we know, we still want to prove to everybody that we know way more than we do. But in actual sense, we don't know as much as we think we know. Today, we're going to break down that. We're going to break that down for you and then make some sense out of it. So this is me in a nutshell. You can see some papers, some work, just to show a little bit of the introduction that I was given. So let's jump right into it. And I'm going to give this presentation from a coach's perspective. So you'll be doing some exercises, you'll be doing some work, and at the same time, it will cause you to think a little bit. And once you can think a little bit, that means we're making progress, all right? So let's see how I can make these informed decisions. First off, I'll go through this for you. Introduction, what's the power of data, the key matrix, and then choosing your key matrix, your KPIs. We'll go into interpreting your data interpretations, making smarter decisions, case study examples, resources, tools, and the key takeaway. Very, very simple, very, very precise, and straight to the point. All right. What is data? I'm not talking about the one you bundle for airtime so you can browse, but you know that is actually the future. First question is this, when we're talking about data is, what are the little information, the massive information, the little data that you can put together to make informed decisions. In your area, there's been a power outage. How many houses are there? What are the appliances that are being used? And the amount of electricity coming to your area, is it enough? You want to make money. You decide to run a seminar. How many people are you bringing into the seminar that will drive the number? Who are you marketing it to? Let's assume the seminar is 15,000 naira. How many people are you marketing it to? Are you marketing a 15,000 naira course to people that are earning 500,000 naira? I am marketing a 500,000 naira course to people that are earning 100,000 naira. So this is where data comes into play. What kind of data are you looking at? The age demographics, are you looking at it correctly? And that's why it's said here. Today's dynamic market, intuition alone does not help. Don't say my mind. My mind alone does not work here. You need to work with data, and that's what most of these social media platform does for us. It transforms raw data into actionable intelligence. Once you have data, you can take precise actions, right? And it empowers you to understand past performance, predict future trends, and make proactive decisions. We are going to delve into that. Let's move straight up. You see somebody that is thinking is confused. I see another person has gotten a brilliant idea. This guy had no data to work with. This guy on the right has all the data and is making some insights, making inroads, having perfect decisions that he's making because he has done the background work. If you don't do the background work, how would you get the numbers that you're looking for? A caterer that wants to serve Italians and she goes to go and serve couscous and fufu. What is going on? They're serving Italians and you don't bring in pasta. You have failed on delivery, right? Or you're going for an Owambe in Lagos and then you don't bring amala, pounded yam, and jollof rice that was cooked with firewood. You have lost the audience, right? So you need to do your background check. And that's where we come back to what is business analytics. And this is what takes you from the data to insights. When you have the data that you have retrieved, how do you get into the insights that helps you with your data? A brief definition says that business analytics is the process of using data. Remember, using data, statistical analysis, and quantitative methods to gain insight into business performance. This is Turenchi. The real grammar is this. What do you have that will tell you what you want? What have you put together that will give you the results that you are looking for? And once you have data, you want to feed 10 people, or rather, they tell you come and feed this class that we are in. I'm using food, things that we can relate with. And then they say, come and feed us. You just go and you just make food for 20 people and come. And now we are 30 in the class. The 10 that are not going to get, how are you going to explain to them? Did you ask the facilitator? Did you ask the organizers? How many people are you expecting? That is where it starts from. You want to do a business, you ask, how many people are you expecting? What kind of food should we deliver for them? Where are they from? What is the menu? What is the budget? This is business analytics. You are sourcing data. So that will help you plan the kind of food you're going to bring for the class. What are the components? And this is where it starts from, right? Gathering relevant information. They didn't say gather information. No. Relevant information. Those of you that are, let me see, in the chat room, in one word, what business are you into? In one word, what business are you into? In one word. If it's fashion, put fashion. Feeding, feeding. Catering, oil and gas, education, swimming, sports, whatever it is, just put in chat room. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I have fashion, I have marketing services, I have real estate. Fantastic. I have telecommunications. Brilliant. You have education. Oh, lovely. So once you know this your niche, this is where we are going to. Thank you, guys. This is where we're going to. So you need to get relevant information first. Relevant. Your information must be relevant. You don't go to the village to go and get information about a business plan, about a business school, rather. Right? Same way you want to get commodities, onions, tomatoes. You don't go to the shopping complex to go and ask people whether they like tomatoes. You need to be very, very precise where you're collecting your data for. Then once you get the data, you need to clean it and prepare it. You need to clean, sift through the data, remove the shaft. So it's not all data that is good data. You need to know how to sift through the data to get the ones that are relevant for you, right? And then you now analyze the data, which is the fantastic part. You check the repeated occurrences, you check the trends, How many people like tomato? How many people like their food pepperish? How many people don't like salt? How many people prefer Maggi? How many people like pounded jam? How many people like amala? How many people like rice? How many people like jollof rice? How many people like Nigerian jollof rice? So by the time you have this data, it now gives you a better blend of how to do it. And if you're into fashion and want to supply clothing, check what is their age group. You cannot give a Gen Z a millennium clothing. You will lose that market from the beginning. You cannot come and sell sweaters and hoodies during this heat that we are feeling. If you are feeling the heat that is going on in the north right now, just type heat. So imagine you have the heat wave and somebody now decides that, okay, this is the time he wants to import sweaters, cardigans, hoodies, blankets to the north to come and sell. Has he done his data? Has he done his research? Has he gathered the right information? Right? But if you understand what I'm talking about, just type heat in the chat room. Oh, thank you, Ayuba. You can relate. Taufikat, you can relate. I love you guys. You can relate. So the data you need to get must be relevant. And then you need to know how to present it clearly. Visualization, where are you going to? What are you doing? What is the direction you're going forth? What have you seen? What is the need you're trying to meet? And then this is where the sweet spot comes in. You take a decision. You've collected the data, you've cleaned it, you've analyzed it, and you visualized it. Now it's time to take a decision. Should I invest 1,000 naira into it? Should I invest 1 million naira into it? Should I invest 1 billion naira into it? The other day, I was listening to a real estate developer, right? And he was talking about the land he bought. And then he sold it, he broke it down into pieces and sold it. But he did not do the relevant data check. After selling the land and he wanted to move to sites, that was when he realized that the owners of the land came and said this was a fake land. He was begging. He didn't do due diligence. He didn't gather the right data. He didn't talk to the right people. And he was almost in trouble. But he got a good deal. When he went to the source, he got the deal for less than a quarter of the price. All right. So that being said, let's see the next component. And this is where it gets interesting. What are you looking for? There's one thing to know what you're looking for. Another thing is to know why you're looking for it. Another thing is to know how it works. So what are you really looking for? What kind of data are you looking for? Why are you looking for the data? And how will this data help you? Tell me, how will it help you? All right. Let's get there. Jack Cranfield said something which was very phenomenal, and we should take this to heart. He said, everything you want is out there, waiting for you just to ask. Everything you want. The money you're looking for is waiting for you. It's waiting for you, I can tell you. Some of you just say, God, today, if I just hit 1 million naira, God, if I hit $10 million, by yourself, you're thinking, oh, if I hit $10 million, if I just find $100,000, if somebody just this is one that always makes me laugh. If somebody just dash me 500,000 naira, you just be there, somebody just come and dash you. You're not doing anything. But the truth is, everything you're looking for is out there. And the data you're looking for is out there. Everything you want is out there waiting for you to ask. Everything you want also wants you, which is very cool. But you have to take action to get it. Very deliberate action. That's the difference. And part of the action you're taking is data collection, right? And this is where we come back to the crux. We bring it together, right? This is where we bring everything together. Now pay attention. If you get this slide, you've gotten it. Trust me, if you get this slide, you've gotten it. All right. First off, diagnostic analysis. When you want to go into business analysis, you need to check why you're going into business analysis. But there are different ways you can do the analytics. Different ways, right? Here we have the 4 basic pillars of checking for your data. The first one is the diagnostic analytics. Why? Why? It answers that question, why? Why did it happen? So this checks the data, right? And finds what happened in the past. When you go to the doctor and the doctor asks you a few questions, right? They ask you a few questions. How are you feeling? Do you have a headache? Do you have a fever? Have you been eating? Is your tummy paining you? What he's doing is he wants to get a past diagnostics. And that's why they'll tell you to go to diagnostic center to go and run some tests. That is to understand the why, to explore the data that is already in existence. So before you start your business, have you gone back into the past to check what is the relevant data for that business? Then you now have the prescriptive analytics that tells us what you should do, right? Let's take it back again so you get it. Let's start from the descriptive data. All right, let's start from the descriptive data. That makes it easy. So just run the cycle. What happened in the first instance? What happened in the first instance? You summarized it. You now to go and check all the data that's happened in the past. What do you understand? What has occurred? What can you diagnose from it? Once you now get that ballpoint, you now move to the diagnostic part of it. All the data I've gotten from the description of what you're looking for in the business, how can I come up with something tangible? What tests do I need to run? What explorations do I need to do? What surveys do I need to push out? Then you now go to prescriptive. Then you're moving forward. What should we do? What are the recommendations to come out of this? All the data you have, what is it showing? What actions should we take? What direction should we move into? And then you now move predictive where you're going into the future. With all this data, these descriptions I've gotten from the past, these diagnoses that I've used to find out what is actually going on with the data, and then the prescriptions that we have had. Now, if I do all these things right, the future, where is it going to be? How is it going to be? Is it going to be favorable? Then you now take the decision whether you should make that money or not. So if you are here, just get this data. If you want to do a screenshot of it, then go back and then harness it. Go into your business, ask yourself, what happened in this business in first instance? Where did the idea of starting this business start from? Where? What data did I refer to before I started this business? So you can get a proper grounding. And then once you have gotten it, you now diagnose, okay, with all this data I have, right? Where is it pointing me? Has people made me money in this business? What is the future? What are the benefits? And then you now check, okay, if this is the direction of this business, right? What can I do? How can I make it better? What are the benefits that are there for me? And that's where it gets profound. And what action should I take? And then you now move into the predictive part of it, which is with all this information I've had, what's going to happen if I fail, if I proceed, if I put 2 naira, if I put 1,000 naira, if I borrow money from the bank, if I don't borrow money from the bank, rather, I can borrow money from my sister. Or better still, let me borrow money from my boss that I don't like. So just in case I can't pay back, we are squared one on one. But don't go and do that, he look for you. Now, once you've gotten this part right, okay, you've understood this part. The truth is, they say everything that is not measured is wasted. How do you know your progress? How do you measure progress? How do you do that? So how do you know if where you are, you made growth into where you should be? How are you sure of the quality of the data you have? And have you transformed it into something that is unique for you? That's where you now have your KPIs. What are KPIs? Your key performance indicators. Very, very simple. I'll read it out so you can see it. They are specific measurable values that demonstrate how effectively a company is achieving the business objectives. Not only companies have KPIs, individuals have KPIs, teams have KPIs. You can set KPIs, measurement standards for yourself and your business. Set KPIs for your business, set KPIs for your career, set KPIs for yourself as a leader, set KPIs for yourself as the owner of the business. And then, as you meet your KPIs, what are the timelines? We'll go there. It must be smart. I just want to see how much we can cover before it's 9 o'clock, so we can take some questions. I can see questions already popping up, right? But feel free, you can drop the questions in as it comes to you. Drop the questions in the chat room, or rather, drop the questions on the survey platform so that we can respond to it. So when you choose KPIs, there are a lot of KPIs you can actually pick up. There are different types of KPIs you can pick up. But first things is this: for your business, why are you running the business? So that will now determine your goals and your objective, which goes through your vision and your mission, right? So the KPIs you're going to set should align with your goals for the business, first off. And these goals must be smart. I talked about smart in the last resilient class, which is being specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Every goal must be time-bound, right? And then you also need to focus on how actionable it is. And this is where a lot of us get stuck. We have a fantastic idea, we start it, we don't even start it. You're looking for everything. I don't have money. I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have staff, I don't have this, I don't have car, I don't have this, I don't have people, I don't have you focusing on what you don't have. Guy, madam, Alaji, Hajia, start. Your business is already running you to make money. Start. What are the things you can control? Start. Don't wait for things you don't have or things you cannot control. Right? Less is more, and I love that part. If there's anything you have taken away, write it down. Less is more in the chat room. Somebody should write it in the chat room. Less is more. You don't need too much. Less is more. Just type it in the chat room. Less is more. Less is more. It follows the principle of KISS, KISS, which is keep it short and simple. Less is more. Don't overdo it, don't overflow it. So some of the KPIs you can actually set have to do with money. How much money do I want to make this year? Don't go and say how much money do I want to make this year. Say how much money do I want to make by December 31st, 2021. Next thing, you know, refine that and say, I want to make, or I'll be making $10,000 by December 31st, 2025. Then you can make it further and say, my net profits should be at a 20%. That means I'll be making $2,000 by December 31st, 2025. Be very specific. And if it has to be with website traffic, how many people are going to your websites? Let's not even go to websites. Let's go for something that everybody likes here. Let's see. Yes, we have a number of followers. Number of followers on your platform. What are you giving them? What's your platform about? What are you giving people that have value? What are the freebies you are giving to them? Have you analyzed? Have you checked the kind of people? Have you segmented it? Have you created your community? And that reminds me, there's a good friend of mine that's a master of communities. That's Dr. Sam Obafemi. He has a program that is running. Join his community. That will really help you. Once you have a community, you have defined it. You know exactly what your community wants. How will you grow your community in terms of numbers? What value are you giving them to grow that community? And that's where you start setting your KPI. Some of you have a lot of groups, right? I'm in the process of even redefining some groups that I belong to. What are the KPIs for those groups? What are the measurement standards? How would you know if you're performing very well in those groups? What is the value you're giving to them? So in this case, we gave some examples. We have the customer acquisition cost. What's it cost to acquire a customer? I know this is quite interesting because there was one business we were working with. And I asked them, I said, what's the cost for producing 1 unit of product? They did not know. What's the cost for producing 1 unit of product? They do not know. Or you have a hotel. What is the cost for one room to be profitable? You have a price on the room, maybe it's 50,000 naira. What's the cost of maintaining that room? And what is the lifespan for that room? In terms of the materials, the furniture, and everything in the room. What is the cost of maintaining that room? What's the minimum cost of maintaining it versus expenses? A lot of people overlook all this and just look at money loss. Yes, I'll give you that part too, right? But you need to know these numbers carefully. So once the money is coming in, you don't just see it as money. You see it as value instead, all right? So these are examples of KPIs and how you can actually measure your group based on the data you have retrieved. So now that you have done this, like I said, this is not just the beginning. What we're going to do, we're going to do some work. So bring out your paper and your biros. We are going back to school. You cannot put me here for 1 hour and I think you just collect information and I not do the work. We are going to share this work. I've been talking. You're going to talk. You're going to talk too. And you're going to do some work. So for those of you that have businesses, this is your time to actually take 5 minutes to look at your business and see if you are in the right track or not. Just take 5 minutes. And I'll tell you, don't just do it in your head. Get a piece of paper, get a biro, get your laptop, get your notepad, get your scratch pad, and write this down. All right. First off, 3 questions. What data is relevant for your business growth? What data? What data is relevant for your business growth? Simple. You're a caterer. What data should you be looking for? You're in training. What data should you be looking for? Somebody said real estate. What kind of data are you looking for? All right. Real estate, what are you looking for? Location, land, direction of the town. Is it growing? Is it expanding? Is it contracting? Is it waterlogged? What kind of data are you looking for? Any potentials of people? What data are you looking for? First question, start writing your answers down. I'm giving you guys 1 minute. Yes, 1 minute, more than enough. The second question, write down 3 professional personal KPIs. We just treated KPIs, right? Now write 3 for yourself. Professional, that's for your business. For those of you that are employees or employers, write it for yourself in terms of your career path. And for those of you that are just there, write it for yourself. So you have 2 parts. If you're a career person, write for your career. And for your personal life, write for your personal life. Career-wise, how much do you want to earn in the next 10 years, the next 5 years, the next 6 months? What grade do you want to attend? When do you want to be promoted? When do you want to be promoted? Right? Personal, fitness, health, family, relationships, your spouse, your children, your family, your parents. What are personal KPIs? Set a date. Yes, 1 minute for that too. We're on the clock, don't worry. I'm timing it. I'm timing everybody. We're on the clock here. So you have those 2. What data is relevant for your business growth? This is where we are going to write. So do the work. Do the work. Come on, do the work. And once you are done, type done in the chat room. Number 3. Okay, yes, 1 minute is gone. Then number 3, where can you use business analysis in your business or personally for the kind of growth you desire? We all have desires. How can you apply business analysis to your business, to your career, to your person? I'll give you guys another 1 minute. So write it. These 3 questions will cause you to think a little bit. Not too much, but it will cause you to think a little bit. It'll cause you to think a little bit, so just think a little bit. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that gets point benefits. All right? If you're having a one-on-one session with me, you'd have paid a lot of money to have this. So now that you're having this free of charge, courtesy Fantel Business School, take it in. Do the work, do the work, do the work. So once you're done, type done in the chat room. You have 1 minute more. Once you're done, type done in the chat room. Let me see those that we need to reward here. Fatima, you didn't say love emoji. Type done. Type done. Type done. No. If you have not done, if you are not done, the man will not look at you. The money will not come to you. That's where you see the more you see, the less you understand. Once you're done, type done in the chat room. Just type done in the chat room. Fatima Busari, fantastic on points. That's it. That's where to go. That's where to go. Brilliant. Brilliant. So 1 person is done. So are you trying to tell me that most of you, the whole 30 participants we have here, you're not really bothered about yourself personally, professionally, and business-wise? Because we are going to the next part where you still do some more work, right? I know when I say do the work, the numbers start dropping. So let's get there. Let's get it done. Who else is done? I need 2 more people. Who else is done? Who else is done? Who else is done? Only 1 person did this exercise. Amazing. Amazing. 1 person did this exercise. 1 person. This is amazing. So you guys like to come by here, but you don't like to do the work. Now you understand why your business is not at the level it should be. Now you understand why you're not performing at the level you should be performing. Now you understand where the obstacles are. Because when it comes time to think, and that's why I said we'll be taking this from a coaching perspective, right? When it comes to thinking, that's where we don't like to play. We don't like to play in that space of thoughts. Think for yourself to grow. Think for yourself to mature. Think for business growth. 3 questions, 3 simple questions that will help you, that will transform your life. And that's the hard part. It's amazing, right? It's amazing. Anyways, Fantel is paying me, so I'll move. I'll just proceed. How do you, this is plenty work. But I'll leave this part too. Just how to analyze your data and how to interpret your data. It's very, very simple. Just take it. How do you analyze my data? How do you interpret it? But if you have not even thought about how your business works in the first instance, how do you want to analyze it? Then how do you want to interpret it? When you have not even checked how your personal life can be improved. So we want to see how business analysis actually intertwines with how successful we are. We get to get the understanding that, oh, this business I started, I did not gather enough information for it to grow, right? It comes back to here. What data is relevant for you for your business goods? Come back here again and see it. Analytic techniques, statistical analysis, right? Have you done the statistics? Have you getting enough data? What is the trend? What is the trend? What kind of people are coming to my business more? Real estate, what kind of people are coming to what kind of people am I attracting? What income range am I attracting? What age range am I attracting? For those in fashion, what size of people am I attracting? What market people am I attracting? What demography am I attracting? What kind of designs am I putting out there? Segmentation, then do you segment, how do you segment them? Is it based on demography? Is it based on their income? Is it based on their choices? Is it based on their generation? And then you interpret it. Once you contextualize this, it makes it easier. You look for where the correlations come into play, and then you ask the simple questions. It's very, very simple, but it starts from the data, the quality of data you get in the first instance. So for me, in as much as we have this quality of data, I always prefer something. I always like to test it. So let's test it. Let's come back to Nigeria. Let's test it. Okay? Very simple. How many of us like music? Type an M in the chat room. If you like music, type M in the chat room. Just M. If you like fashion, type F in the chat room. If you like hospitality, type H. And if you like money, type F. Let's see those that are here. Anyhow you fall into one, if you're Nigerian, you will like either Afro beats, you will like to dress to the occasion and buy Owambe tire, you will like to eat food, you will not miss item 7. And at the same time, if you like any of this, you must like fintech, you must like money. Quite interesting. When I asked you guys to think and type done, people are not typing. Then now when I ask what you like, see the numbers exploding, right? So you guys know what to think, but you like the groove. Interesting, right? It's interesting. But let's get serious. Data is what drives these movements. Afrobeats, Nigerian music. What are the projections? What can you see there? The data shows that it's a 14.8 billion industry. Fashion industry, what does it tell you? It's a $6.1 billion industry as of 2024. Hospitality, that's 2.9 billion of the national GDP, which represents 3.4%. And then fintech that just started when? In Nigeria, it's grown over 70% annually and over 2 billion. It's not saying that it has done 2 billion, it has attracted from outside over $2 billion. This is where data comes in. Somebody should type in the chat room, type your business area, because I like us to test it. What's your business area? What are you interested in? Well, some people are incredible though. Bumi says that she likes MH, everything. I like that. You know. So just type on business, one area of interest you like. Fintech. Okay, I see food, I see fintech. So I said, let's test it. And how do I want to test it? Very simple. We're going there. Let's go there. Let's go to Gemini. Now they say if we go to Google, there's a problem. So let's go to Gemini. The Gemini says that first off, where are we? Let's go here. I'm trying to share this slide so that you can see it clearly. Can you see my slide? If you can see my screen, just tell me. Can you see my screen? No, okay. Sorry. The good thing I asked. So let's go here. So you can see my screen, just type a yes in the chat room. Just type a yes. Fantastic. So let's see. Those of us that like food. Let's check. What's is the value of, let's put entertainment, or rather, let's say what does entertainment, did I get it right? Entertainment contributes to the Nigerian, I'm taking that well, mostly Nigerians, GDP for 2024. Stop. Let's see. So I just test it. What do we have here? The overall Nigerian entertainment and media sector is projected to reach $8 billion in revenue, up from 7.2 billion in 2024. Fantastic. Let's go. Somebody mentioned food, right? Let me just see. How does food contribute to business in Nigeria? Thank you. If it comes down to the GDP, the raw materials, the generation, this is the raw data you can actually use. And then you can also ask a simple question. This is where data comes into play. You can ask what's population of Nigerians that eat out. This is just rough, unfiltered data that you can actually use. Then you cannot drilling. It's a challenge to provide the exact facts. But see, in 2019, Nigerians spent 4.6 trillion naira on food consumed outside the home. So if Nigerians are consuming about 4.6 trillion as of 2019, before COVID, at home, if you want to go into the market, what does that tell you? That tells you that there's a lot of opportunities for growth. There's a lot of opportunities for business. It is never dry. So let's stop it here and come back. As I say, it's always good to test these things. When you test it, you can actually really tell. So you can see that in as much as we are talking here, the numbers don't lie. So when you go back and check this data, it gives you exactly what you're looking for. Let's come back again and see. I'm seeing 9:15 already. Okay, I have 5 minutes more. Okay, so run it. But this comes back here, right? Drive informed decisions. How do you get decisions? The first thing is, what is the problem you are solving? What's the problem you're solving? So you define the question first. You analyze the data, like I said, find the options, you evaluate, implement, monitor and measure, you iterate and optimize. But this is not where I'm going to. This is a simple process. And this is me. In case you have not seen me, this is what I look like. Very simple. Taking a decision. You define the question. What is the problem you're looking for? Here, take a picture of this shot. Take a picture of this screen, right? Define the business question. You get and analyze data. This is a summary for you to take proper decisions. You generate the options. You evaluate your options and you select the appropriate one. And then you implement. You monitor, you measure, and then you iterate the whole process. Iteration is very, very critical because it refines the whole process and takes you back to the beginning, and then you can run through the whole process. But this is a simple step process for decision making for your business based on data and analytics, right? But moving into making it easier for you, because I know some of you don't like this data. So I made it easier for you, right? Simple. If you want to use data to drive analysis, four-step process. You have from data to the growth you need. Simple. You have your data that you have sourced. You analyze the data. From there, you can take an informed decision, aided for the quality that you need. After that, you get the desired growth because you're using from your data that you have sourced to the growth you are looking for. And at the end of that, you reiterate the process, you repeat the process, and then you arrive at what you are looking for. Few tools you can use is right here. We can share that on the chat room. You have your spreadsheets, you have your BI, you have your database, you have your cloud. But there was something that Kingsley said that I'd like to share with you is also very good. It says, approach business analysis with a mindset focused on problem solving and enabling positive change. Problem solving. If you approach your business from these perspectives, it makes life easier for you. What are the takeaways? Simple. The first one from business analytics is essential for modern business success. True, we've done that. You understand the different types of analytics. Who can remember anyone? God, I'll make you think again. So let's keep it. Remember your KPIs and then how they should align with your goals. And then your quality of your data, which will help you make informed decisions. But most importantly, and that's why I left it for the last part, apply AI to drive your business analysis. Always remember AI first. I was listening to Elizabeth Light today, and she said something that was very critical. She said AI first, not WhatsApp first, not Telegram first, not Instagram first. She said AI first because it's the future. And one thing I always tell everybody is read books. And if you're lazy enough and you don't want to read books, join the Time Tribe on Clubhouse every Tuesdays by 8 p.m. We'll help you read books. By the end of May, as of last week, we finished the fifth book for this year. We're starting on a new book in June. So you can join Clubhouse if you don't want to read. And a few books that I always recommend are here. There's some books you can actually read. Some of these books we have read. Some of them are still in the pipeline. And you also have some other books that you can also read. Reading expands your knowledge. At this point, I'll ask you any questions. Let us answer them for you. Any questions? Any questions? Yeah, this way you can drop the emojis in the chat room, claps. Tell me thank you. Yes, I can get that. In the chat room, you can do that. Okay, I see Said you answered. Fantastic. Predictive analysis, descriptive analysis. Okay, we have a question already. Bashir says that what are the most critical skills a new BA should focus on mastering? Yes, very simple. You don't have to be a new BA, right? The skills you need, not even a skill. First thing you need to know is how to source data relevant to your business. That's the first thing. Know how to source data, how to get data, which was data collection in that slide I gave you. Data collection, how to get the right relevant data. Let me get that here for you first. So that should be on this slide here. Yes, this is it. All right. This is it. Okay. So first off, data collection. This is what you need to learn first. How to source the right data. Very, very important. Very, very important for any business analysis. You can collect data, but collecting relevant data is very critical. And then, as much as you collected data, is more or less like you go and plant maize or you plant rice, you can harvest it. You just take the rest of that and start cooking it. You have to sort it first. You sort it. So same thing, that's what you do. You now sort the data that you have collected. When you've sorted the data, you now analyze the data. Which ones are occurring more? Like fish, those that are into fishery, right? You have the shooters, you have the big ones, so they don't eat, you sort them out. Same thing with your data, you sort it out. From this data that I'm having, how many people are responding, right? How many people are not responding? How many people are into business? How many people are employees? You sort the data that you have, and then you can use that for data analysis, visualization, and then you can now make an informed decision. Remember, the whole idea of a business analysis is to be able to source the right data and then convert that to aid you in making the right decisions. That's the whole idea. All right. So once you get that, so let's see. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, thank you, Fatima. Sari, Fatima Mohammed, Yakin, thank you very much. Saidu and Abdulaziz. Okay, I believe you guys are the only ones left in class. Every other person is watching Netflix, right? I see a question here. Learn how to do branding for my business as a startup. I want to believe this is how do I learn how to do business or branding for okay, this is one course we took this course, we took this class, one of the first classes we did, but we can take it for you. Doing branding for your business is different, but you understand one major thing, right? Branding is not the business, all right? Branding is not the business. Always remember that. It's not about the logo. It's not about the call cards. It's not about the letterhead. All right. What the business is, the business can move. Okay, let me ask you a question to understand branding. There's a woman at your junction that sells kose every morning, kose and cocoa. People go there and then they line up and they wait for her to do the akara. Very hot. Does she give out any business card? Tell me now. Does she have a logo? But every day she sells out all the kose that she has. For the masa, the woman selling masa, she sells all the masa that she has. Does she have a business card? Does she have a logo? So remember, start the business first. Don't let all the aesthetics get to you. But what you need to understand, and most importantly, understand the culture of the business you need to drive and the vision. Once you have the culture and the vision in sync, start the business. Everything will fall, and that's you have created the correct foundation for your business. All right. Any questions? Any questions? How do I know from Zainab? How do I know my target audience? That's part of the business analytics. First, before you know your target audience, you need to know what kind of business you are going into. All right. You need to know what kind of business you're going into. But in some cases, and this is where I start from. Before you even start, let's assume you have a product that you have in mind. Find out from the market. Does the market want it? Does the market want the product? First off, do your survey. Send a questionnaire out. Do an online survey. Do the Google Forms. Share it. Ask, do word of mouth. Share it within your platforms. Do a small questionnaire. What do people want? It may amaze you that you may want to sell high heel shoes, right? Maybe you got them at a good price and you just want to push it in the market. And somebody says, do a survey. That's okay. Well, you have high heel shoes. What price would they like to buy it? What colors would they like? And then send it out. Part of your business analysis, the surveys part, when you're collecting data. And you now realize that people are not even responding. They don't even want it. And they now go back and say, okay, I have flat sole shoes that are very comfortable for the weather. How much would you pay for it? And these are the designs. And then send a questionnaire out. You'll be shocked that in as much as you like high heel shoes that you want to sell, what the market actually looking for is slippers. And you as a business person, is it what you want to sell that you want to sell? Or what the market is ready to pay for? And in some cases, you've had, maybe you're actually selling the shoes, lovely, but you're selling it to the wrong set of people. Next thing is, once your questionnaire goes out, you need to start checking, okay, what is demography? You go and do your research. That's where data actually comes to play, business analysis. What demography uses this kind of shoes? Go to all the businesses that share those kind of, that produce these shoes and check who wears this kind of shoes. What is the price point for this kind of shoes? What kind of occupation uses this kind of shoes? What kind of businesses use this kind of shoes? So you now check it. You can apply that to food. You can apply that to clothing. You apply that to, like I mentioned, shoes. So you can apply that to footwear. You can also apply it to cars, houses, real estate, what's that on fashion. Go out and check who requires it. Which businesses are, who are those that have been in the business for way before you. What are your competitions? What have they done? What are their mistakes? What are your errors? And then you run it through the process. All right. And then you can now actually identify who your actual people are. So when you want to market, and that's where you see that AI comes to play. There's one software I got today. It's just amazing. What we could not do in the past. Whoever is in business today, guys, there's work to be done. There's work to be done, that I'll tell you. Apart from work to be done, there's a lot of money to be made. Everything is now easy. You want to check your business demography. Facebook has made it easy. Instagram has made it easy. Online marketers have made it easy. They've actually made tools to develop prompts to make markets. There's a lot of work to. Let me just put it that way, guys. Get ready. How you are doing business today, I promise you, it's not the same way you do business in 1 year. And it's not the same way you do business in 6 months. Things are changing and changing with speed. Things are changing and they're changing with rapid speed. All right. So I think I still have a few questions. Before I proceed, let me hand over back to the moderator, because I think I've shot by 5 minutes so that he can coordinate the remaining 10 minutes that we have, or 15 minutes that we have. So Musa, I think I'll send this back to you so you can take it from there, and let's see the questions we have and how we can proceed.
All right. Thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. I want to believe we've learned a lot, and it's a time well spent. Well, in the Q&A, we have a question that says, from an anonymous attendee, how do I develop Power BI for meal KPI? That was this question.
How do I develop Power BI for meal? I don't understand this question.
Yeah. Actually, you see, Power BI is an application software that you use in data analytics, especially when you want to deal with the graphics part of it. So your question is not clear. Please, maybe you can reframe it so that we can get it right. But know that Power BI is an application software that you use for
Okay.
developing or designing graphics. So you
Okay.
can maybe expatiate on your question so that we can understand it better. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that clarity. But the major things for key performance indicators is quite simple. Let me not say quite simple. The question is, what are your objectives and what are your goals for the meals first? And that is what will power whatever software you want to use. You need to understand the KPIs for the meals first and the target audience, what you intend to get out of it. That will now determine what you now feed into the software tool that you're going to use to create this prompt. All right. Oh, the question is out already. Is there any other one? And that one actually got to me, hit me on the blind side. That's okay. Thank you very much, Musa, for attending to that question.
Yeah, thank you very much. Um, Bashir is asking, how do one handle conflicting stakeholders' needs or unclear requirements when presented their data for analysis?
Okay. When you have
Presenting.
stakeholders, I'll break this in two parts. The question is not very clear, but I'll try and break it in two parts so that it keep easier. First, handling conflicts is one major thing. All right. Then the other part is how do you manage your stakeholders? When you have conflicts within stakeholders, that's when you have unclear requirements. If the requirements are very clear, you'll not have the conflicts in the first instance. So first things first is you need to identify your stakeholders. Who are your stakeholders? People always think that the stakeholders are the owners of the business, but there are different parts. You have internal stakeholders, you have external stakeholders. Internal stakeholders, which are your internal customers, your employees, and at the same time, your board. Then you have the external stakeholders, those that you are supplying to. So you need to check those two very clearly. Who are your stakeholders? And then if you have done project management first, you need to know what the brief is. So first off, in order to handle conflicts, you need to be very clear. And that's why I say, what is the brief? What is causing the conflict first? Why is there a conflict in the first instance? And if you follow through that decision-making process that I raised for you, in the risk management, I have to put out a framework for you there on how to arrive at to minimize your risk. But first things first is this. Be very, very clear. Communicate clearly to your stakeholders what you intend to do. Your internal stakeholders, communicate to them clearly. Your external stakeholders communicate to them clearly and have their buy-ins. Once you have their buy-ins, then you can now move to the next level of conflict resolution. There are processes of resolving conflict, but the first thing I will say for any form of conflict resolution, keep your mouth shut and listen. It is very hard because you'll be in the defense mode. You want to defend your position, defend what you're doing. First things first, just keep your mouth shut and listen. In the process of listening, you have become the business analyst. You are sourcing data, right? The stakeholders are giving you data. The moment you start talking, they stop talking. And when they stop talking, you have stopped the flow of data. So first, keep quiet and listen. Retrieve as much data as you can retrieve. And then that's when I go back to the data analysis. When you get to the data, right, that is when you now polish and clean the data properly. So now say, okay, what are they really talking about? What are the strong points? What are the challenges? And then you can now dust the data properly before you can now arrive at a proper solution that will be amicable for both sides. All right. And then when you now have unclear requirements, that's actually causes it. You have not sourced the right data. Okay, for data analysis. So that's the first instance. To resolve a conflict, you need to get your stakeholders clearly, know who your stakeholders are clearly, and then source the right information. One of the best ways to source information from them is to listen attentively and then take down, which is the data you have absorbed, and then analyze the data properly before you can arrive at your decision. Now, what are the common mistakes new BAs make, and how can I avoid them? First, one major mistake BAs make is thinking that they know it all. And that happens to everybody. You've gotten some data, you just believe you know it all. Always be a sponge. Always be a sponge, soak up information. First, that's the first one. Everybody thinks that they know it all. Even those that are in business know it all. One thing as a coach that I realized is, and I thank God I learned that early, is learn to just keep quiet and listen. Let people talk to you. You can't help somebody if you don't know what they're saying. I can't tell you what to do. If I'm coaching, I can't tell you what to do. I need to get the feedback from you. So first mistake, one common mistake is people thinking that they know it all already. So if you know it all already, why are you there? Why are you trying to solve? Why are you trying to help people? That means your cup is full. There's nothing that can come in. If nothing can come in, you can't give out. All right? How can you avoid them? Listen and then take notes. Hold your tongue. Hold yourself properly. Then when you have enough information, then you can spill it. Nelson Mandela said something once. He says that when he's in his company of his father, because his father was a village chief and a clan with the elders. So when his father, one of the things he learned was his father was always amongst the last to speak. His father was always amongst the last people to speak. And you'd be wondering why Mandela was so wise. He said he learned that from his father, being the last to speak. Not because he wanted to be the last to speak, but so that he can listen carefully, get all the data and analyze it properly before giving valued feedback. So if there's anything you can take away, you can take that away from Mandela. All right. So thank you very much, Bashir, for that very, very informed question. I appreciate you for that. Okay. Any other questions or any other suggestions, clarifications, additions?
Yeah, keep
So
your
back to you,
question
Musa.
coming. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, keep your question coming. I'd like to say if you want to if you want to use the mic, if you want to speak while asking your question, kindly raise up your hands and we'll make that happen from here. Okay, Zainab is asking, please, can I have the slide? I joined late and really want to have an insight.
Okay, that's not a problem. Fantel Business School, what's your take? I have a problem with slides.
Yes. Thank you very much for that question. Zainab will push the slides to everyone. All the attendees will have a slide. Please kindly check your email by tomorrow. You should have that. Thank you.
So if there's no questions, I think this is where we have item 7. Are there other questions coming up? Or we going to item 7 right away? Okay, we have fantastic. I think one more has popped up. Oh,
Ekpa
okay.
is on the way.
Let me start sharing the screen then.
Uh,
So, one thing I like to
Bashir,
give to everybody, right, is this.
Bashir is appealing. Bashir is appealing. He said, can I shadow you on a project or help you with a small task to gain more experience?
And that's no problem. I really appreciate that. Maybe we can talk offline and we see how that can work. All right. That's not a challenge at
Yeah.
all. Because one thing about this community that Fantel Business School has actually done is, and that's part of the reasons why these seminars are actually free for all to attend, is a lot of people run businesses, but they really don't know how to run businesses. Some people have businesses, are in debts and are sinking and don't know how to come out of it. We also have people that have tried businesses, are still in the business, don't even know why they're doing the business, but they just turn up. And that's part of the reason why these workshops keep coming up twice a week. It's to give that awareness. Those of you that are going into business, know how to go into the business. Those of you that have not even started business and want to delve into business, these are what these classes will help you or will help you with. And those of you that have already been in business and have invested a lot in the business, you can now come in properly for proper consultancy that will actually run you through your business, take it from where you are to where you desire to be. And I'll tell you something for free, right? Those that invest in making their business better grow faster than those that think that they know it all. I take that again. Those that invest in getting the best to help them with their business move faster than those that think that they know it all, right? Because the truth is, everybody that attended this seminar has gained one thing. No matter how little it is, you gained at least one thing. And if you gained at least one thing, that means there's a possibility that there's something you don't know that you need to learn. So if you know that that possibility exists, why are you avoiding knowledge? And with the new wave at which AI is moving, I'll give you that for free. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of work that I'll give it to you. There's a lot of work to be done. The rate at which AI is moving right now, there's a lot of work to be done. So that being said, I implore everybody, check your business analysis. Go and research. Do the work. Think. I put those questionnaires out there just to test, and it works. The major challenge we have as a people, we don't like to think. You just want to put money. Why would you start a business? I don't have capital. Why is your business failing? My salespeople are cheating me. But forgetting that you as an individual, you have not even done the business analysis. You have not done the back check. You have not even checked what it means to have a net profit. You don't know the difference between your net profit and then your revenue, the basics of all. Then how would you know if you're making profits? You know, you're just marketing generally, just putting on your status and you have marketed. you know, you're not even targeting your audience. So how do you make money? How do you do business? So let's change the way we do business. Let's change the mentality and let's attract the right set of people. Okay. So I think in the absence of that, I'll hand you back to the moderator, and it's good to be here. My name is Abdul Rahim Oriagba. I am an executive, yeah, they call it executive advanced integrative life coach. What I basically do is I personally let me put it in two parts. As a life coach, right, I help people get from where they are to where they need to be with a focus on clarity, vision, and goal orientation. Because most people, they may come in and say, oh, my business has a challenge. But when we actually go into the session, we realize that your business is not the challenge. We realize that where the challenge is your money habits or your punctuality or your relationship. That's the issue. And then we now treat it. So it's not just about helping you grow your business, you know. So why it is a blend consultancy with life coaching, with therapy, and then also trauma and emotional EFT, emotional freedom techniques to help you arrive at where you are. So there's a bouquet of things I do, not just coaching, to help people help their businesses arrive at where they are. Change management is also a critical part. So that's what I basically do. So I help you come from where you are, identify where your goals are, and then bring you up from there, from where you are, where you're stuck, and then help you move directly to where you need to be. and help you land successfully there with a proven track record that you can actually use to monitor your progress. And then we get there. All right. So thank you very much. It was good to be here for Fantel Business School. Good to see amazing people. All the contributions that came in from Bashir, from Zainab, from Fatima, from Yakin, right? And then there was a Seidu, Abdul Razak, Olubumi, Rabiu, and the others that actually contributed to the success of this class. I appreciate you guys. Fantastic. We'll meet in the same class when the next one comes in. Check your emails and always share with your friends, colleagues, and business partners. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Moderator. Right here.
Okay, thank you very much. Um, I want to say you have done justice to the topic, and in fact, this is really an in-depth insight to the topic of today. Know your business analytics for decision making. Thank you all for your time. If we still have 8 more minutes to draw the curtain. If you have any question, you can still pop it. In the absence of that, I would like to encourage you to invite your friends to also take advantage and learn from these sessions. Uh, we at Fantel Business School, this is what we like to do. We like to see you grow, help you succeed in your respective businesses. Please spread the news, let others gain from this, and be part of the family. Thank you. Okay. In the absence of no question, we appreciate your time and we would like to draw the curtain here. See you on Wednesday. Wednesday, we'll be having another session. As you all know, we are committed to our words. We'll be hosting 2 live sessions in a week, Wednesday and Saturday. So we encourage you to join us next week, Wednesday, for yet another informative and educative session. Thank you all, and see you on Wednesday. And enjoy the rest of your night and weekends. Thank you.